Hello, I'm Jamie from Spiral. I won a yo-yo contest 10 years ago. Things have changed since then. Today, we're going to tackle the four-letter dirty word of competitive yo-yoing. Fuck. I mean, meta. Discussions about the state of the modern competitive yo-yo scene are often dominated by one word: meta. There's usually some degree of contempt that shortly follows. I'm so sick of seeing all this meta. I like that this one player doesn't do much meta. How come meta always wins? This video will try to define what meta really is, explore its significance in modern competitive yo-yoing, and decide whether the concept of meta deserves its bad rap. The modern yo-yo contest, as we know it, is a game. Merriam-Webster defines a game as a form of player sport, especially a competitive one played according to rules and decided by skill, strength, or luck. Let's break that down. Yo-yo is definitely play. A yo-yo contest is competitive in nature, and yo-yo contests are played according to rules that decide winners based on a measure of skill. It is crucial that we establish this when we talk about the modern yo-yo meta, short for metagame. So what is the metagame? Literally, a metagame is defined as the game outside the game. If we think of the base game as the rules of a yo-yo contest in a vacuum, the metagame is the way players approach that game using knowledge and strategies from outside the vacuum. The act of competing is a strictly solo affair. Players do not interact directly. This sounds like competing in a vacuum until you consider the spectating aspect of a contest and the posting of scores. From the moment a player gets off stage, that freestyle is public information. Since rules carry between contests thanks to the IYYF, the knowledge of other players' approaches and their effectiveness carries over to the next contest. Smart players use this information to their advantage. Strategies are changed, and boom, we have a metagame. What does the yo-yo meta look like? We often know it when we see it, but why is that? The answer is repetition and familiarity. There are certain elements and tricks that we see repeated between players and freestyles. There are trends in the kind of music we hear on stage. Everybody wears a black shirt and uses bright string. What made these elements so common in the metagame? Let's break down a few factors that make them appealing to competitors. First and foremost is efficiency. Common meta combos are often tightly packed with scoring elements. They're hard to beat and bang for buck. This goes for learning them as well. Rather than go through the time-consuming process of creating tricks, a player can review contest footage or watch tutorials and build a tried-and-tested, contest-viable set of tricks. More time to practice and get clean. This leads into the next advantage: accessibility. Trick creation can be a hurdle for intermediate players, and there's no guarantee that what they create will be effective. Copying so-called meta elements lowers the barrier to doing well at a contest. In addition to efficiency, meta elements offer safety. While they aren't necessarily easy, most meta combos are low risk in nature. Mistakes are easier to recover from and do not result in significant time loss. As a result of all the above factors, meta combos have proliferated and become familiar, which in turn is its own advantage. The elements are easily recognized, known quantities that are proven to score. Players have come to rely on these and refer to them as absolute elements, or ABS. You would be hard-pressed to find a successful freestyle from the past couple years without some form of recognizable ABS. They're everywhere. Does the advancement of the yo-yo metagame signal the death of creativity? Players and spectators alike bemoan the prevalence of what they call the meta. It's undeniable that the average trick set has homogenized somewhat, but are the effects of the metagame all bad? I'm not so sure. By my reckoning, the level of competition in the modern yo-yo scene is the highest it has ever been, and rising. This is thanks to the metagame of players assessing their rivals and improving as a result. The spirit of the yo-yo community has and always will be collaboration, and the competitive metagame is just another form of that. Through competition, players around the world push each other in pursuit of perfection, whatever that means. Even the dreaded meta combos themselves can and do evolve over time, becoming harder, more dense, or just performed faster. I believe we're in a great era of yo-yo competition, with an unprecedented depth of understanding of what makes the rules work, and player engagement seems to be at an all-time high. I believe what we've made of the modern yo-yo contest is a beautiful game. So play on.